Henry Cavill must be laughing his ass off. I mean, no wonder he bailed on this show. The writers seem to resent Geralt's very existence in the story and do everything they can to break him down and keep him sidelines.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out The Witcher Season 4, a show so awful it broke me by the critical drinker. Guys, yes, I have watched up to Season 3. I guess I've seen Season 3 as well, back when it came out. I enjoyed actually the first season of The Witcher. The second season it was kind of like, yeah, the third season it was going really downhill. I know Season 4 they recasted Geralt. I think they brought in, who was it? Liam Hemsworth, I think he replaced Henry Cavill, I believe it is. So that's a major switch up. I'm not sure how good of a job he does. I've heard nothing good about The Witcher Season 4, frankly. I have not looked up any videos on it. I've been wanting to make a video for the channel on it, so I actually don't know anything about it. I don't know why it's bad. I'm sure the critical drinker here is going to tell us all about what makes it awful. Without any further delay, I say we get right into this reaction. We're going to leave a like, of course, captions on. Quality is 1080p. And without any further delay, let's see what this is all about. What makes The Witcher so awful it broke him? Let's see.
Suffer for our art, dear viewer. Some of us have to endure bitter physical hardships, or drastically altering our appearance, or even lose our minds entirely in pursuit of a role. But truly, all of that pales into insignificance compared to what I had to endure over the weekends. That's right, I have watched Season 4 of The Witcher.
Oh man. Oh god. Oh man.
Or at least I tried to, but by all the gods and all the curses of Entish, Elvish, and the tongues of men, this one fought me every inch of the way. And in the end, I was defeated. The man who conquered Blood Origin, who took down the Acolyte, who endured the depravity of Last of Us Season 2, was finally undone by this show. The Witcher Season 4 is without doubt one of the most wretchedly miserable products of human endeavour that I've ever experienced. A show that somehow combines all the worst aspects of every other terrible sci-fi and fantasy project of the past decade into one horrifying congealed mass of shittiness. The laughably bad acting, production design, and 21st century metropolitan diversity of Willow, the hammy writing and overblown melodrama of Rings of Power,
I can see already there's a lot of for this being like I think the original creator, wasn't he Polish? I want to say, I could be wrong. Like the original creator of the Witcher series, the book series, eventually became a game, eventually became the show. I believe he was Polish. I'm seeing a lot of diversity in this. Now I don't really mind diversity if it's casted well still in roles, but that being said, like if it's diversity just for the sake of diversity, get the fuck out of here. Like nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants, like, again, if it's got a lore reason why people look this way, then why the fuck are you changing that to pander to somebody else, to pander to somebody? Like I don't think Black people are gonna watch The Witcher and then think, oh fuck, there's not enough black people in this, I hate the show now. I don't think that's gonna be like I don't think that's the reason why people dislike media, you know what I mean? I think that's a fucking silly thing to not like something over. I think companies just in general need to drop that shit and just like get over themselves. Like again, if there's black people in a role, sure, that's fine. If there's white people in a role, sure, that's fine. Asian people, whatever. But why are you going out of your way to make somebody who is, for all intents and purposes, a white character into a black person, or vice versa? That usually doesn't happen. In fact, I think if it did happen, that'd be racist, wouldn't it? It's weird, man. It's weird. Let's keep watching.
Diversity of Willow, the hammy writing and overblown melodrama of Rings of Power, the relentless gender and sexual politics of the Acolyte, and the insufferably annoying characters of Peacemaker. And the thing that's worst of all is that it's all hammered home with the dour, self-important seriousness of House of the Dragon, only without any of the intelligence, sharp dialogue, or interesting characters. Basically what I'm saying with all this shite is...
And that being said, House of the Dragon had its moments too. Let's be completely honest here. I liked House of the Dragons from what I've seen so far. I've seen the 2 seasons that are out. Liked it so far, okay? But it had its moments of like, what the fuck? But they did go back to kind of like the original feel of Game of Thrones, I think, largely with the dialogue and whatnot, and that's what kind of drew me onto it. I enjoyed that portion of it. Not to say it's bad. Again, I'd still rate House of the Dragons right now 7.5 maybe, right now. We'll have to see how it goes, obviously, but right now, 7.5, 8. I'm still gonna watch it. It's not bad. Let's keep going.
Sharp dialogue or interesting characters. Basically what I'm saying with all this shite is that the reality of Witcher Season 4 isn't as bad as we all feared it would be.
Reality
Is it worse?
is much worse.
Oh no.
Let me show you.
Let's get this pish over with quick so that I can slip into something more comfortable. Like a fucking coma.
Cage.
The story picks up shortly after the events of Season 3, where our three leads have been split up and separated. Because literally every person, animal, and object in the Witcher universe is now looking for her, Ciri is now on the run with a fake identity, where she's fallen in with this carefully chosen group of, diverse individuals.
Right.
Right.
Now again, I'm not huge on the Witcher lore. Does that actually does this happen? Like, is this based on anything, or is this purely show writer, how you say, initiative, let's call it?
Honestly, this has got to be some kind of piss take, man. How is this show even real? The only thing that's missing is a guy in a wheelchair to turn it into a poster for modern day Dungeons and Dragons. We're all just living our truth, you guys. Anyway, these are the rats, and they survive by stealing food and money from hard-working, law-abiding citizens, which is perfectly fine according to the rules of modern writing, as long as you're poor and diverse. And Ciri soon starts a relationship with whoever the fuck this girl is. Oh yeah, Ciri's gay, by the way.
You don't say!
Oh my goodness, who could have predicted this turn of events in a modern fantasy show?
And again, I don't even really care about that either, but again, it's like, are you making a character gay for the sake of them being gay? That's what it is, right? Like, and I don't know, again, I'm not big on the Witcher lore. I don't know her proclivity, right? But if this didn't happen, lore-wise, it's not based on anything, and you're just adding this just to add it, again, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Why? Like, why are you doing? It's cringe. It's nobody wants to fucking see that. Again, and the main audience of The Witcher is going to be people who enjoyed the books, who enjoyed the games. Now, you're obviously going to be reaching a fucking huge new audience as well. But why are you trying to advertise to people who aren't already into the fucking series? You know what I mean? Who aren't already 100% on board with The Witcher? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I get trying to market your product to new people, but this is a really, really shitty way to do it, man. I just don't get it.
Oh my goodness, who could have predicted this turn of events in a modern fantasy show? Joking aside, if I was a young woman who had the misfortune of watching a show like this, I'd actually feel pretty uncomfortable with these weirdo Hollywood writers and their absolute obsession with lesbian relationships.
That's
like
true.
Every same-sex friendship I form is somehow expected to lead to scissoring because that's just the progressive thing to do. Anyway, whatever. The second major plot thread follows Yennefer, who's busy girl bossing her way through the world so that she can gather an army to take down evil magician guy who's now assumed control of the Brotherhood of Mages. I love how this sorcerer, who's never been a physical powerhouse in her life and relies entirely on her magic to defend herself, is now easily able to take down knights in full battle armor because modern day writing, I guess.
What? Wait. Yennefer is now wielding a sword and killing fully plated knights? I never saw that in any of the other seasons, and from the bit I played of the games, like, she's a witch. She ain't physically strong, like, she's just very fucking magically attuned, you know what I mean? Why, like, she's already a badass in her own right for that reason. Why now do you have to add more just to do that? Like, again, it's cringe. Like, it's not realistic. Like, what made Yennefer relatable, I think, in the first season, I think they did a good job in the first season. I think she was a relatable character. She still had flaws, but she overcame those in a sense, right? And now it's just like they're kind of just giving her like fucking brownie points just to give her brownie points. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, why do it?
Cause modern day writing, I guess. She's also on the hunt for Ciri, because of course she is, because Ciri being missing and everybody wants Ciri to find her is literally the plot for every single season of this fucking show. And she's not the only one looking for her, because Emperor Emir realizes the Ciri he's been given is actually a fake Ciri, and his plans to father a child of the Elder Blood with her, yes, this really is a plot point, aren't gonna work until he finds the real one. Oh yeah, and Geralt's in the show as well.
Sometimes.
Anyway, moving on. You know how one of the big criticisms of The Witcher, especially as the narrative progressed into Season 3, was that Geralt was basically relegated to a background character in his own show in favour of the twin rulers of Girl Boss Mountain, Yennefer and Ciri?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. The show is called The Witcher, and I think in Season 3, you only see him like a fucking few times. Like, he doesn't feel like the main character of his own fucking series. It's weird. Like, again, the show isn't called The Yennefer, it's called The Witcher. You know what I'm saying? Not The Witch, The Witcher. That's fucking Geralt. Like, he's the main character. The whole game, the whole series follows him around. Why deviate from that? He's a badass in his own right. People want to see that. You know what I mean? People want to see what he gets up to. I don't know. Whatever.
In his own show in favour of the twin rulers of Girl Boss Mountain, Yennefer and Ciri? Well, strap in, because Season 4 is going to give you even more girl bosses. And maybe once in a while, Geralt might be allowed to take part in some irrelevant fight scene, saving an innocent woman from some bandits, or saving more innocent women from being burned as witches. Are you spotting a theme here? All while pining for Ciri and Yennefer, of course. Holy shit, man, Henry Cavill must be laughing his ass off. I mean, no wonder he bailed on this show. The writers seem to resent Geralt's very existence in the story, and do everything they can to break him down and keep him sidelines. You've really got to feel bad for Liam Hemsworth. I mean, I'm sure the money was good and all, but let's be honest here, this role isn't going to do his career any favours.
No.
He was handed an absolute poison.
No. If this is as bad as everyone is saying it is, and I'm sure nobody's watching it, everyone's just watching videos like this. Again, the money was probably very nice. I mean, to fill in a role this big, apparently they had a massive fucking budget. Don't know what happened to it. Don't know where it went, but apparently there it is. Yeah, he probably got a very solid take of that, you know? But it probably hurt his career in the long run. Because now you got to add this to your resume. Even if you don't add this to your resume, I mean, a lot of people probably know about this, you know? But again, whatever. You can't really blame the guy. It's a job. It's his job. You know, he's an actor. He took a role. That's what it is, you know. Can't blame him, you know. It's what it is.
Let's be honest here, this role isn't going to do his career any favours. He was handed an absolute poison chalice with this one, given the thankless task of filling Cavill's boots with a writing team that clearly see him as surplus to requirements anyway. He spends the first few episodes basically in a holding pattern, doing nothing of any real significance, while the writing team lavish the bulk of the plot-moving events on other, more important characters. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like Hemsworth distinguishes himself with his performance either. His take on Geralt is more flaccid than a male feminist in front of a Sydney Sweeney poster, and it just emphasises how much heavy lifting Cavill was doing in a show that didn't even appreciate him. Yaski is still an insufferable prick that makes me want to grab a power drill and perform a frontal lobotomy on myself every single time he opens his retarded mouth. The guy...
He's a lot different, I think, right, in the show. That's what I hear. He's a lot different.
Frontal lobotomy on myself every single time he opens his retarded mouth. The guy flounces through every scene with the exaggerated flamboyance of a 1980s action flick's idea of what a gay man should act like. The rats are a bunch of absolute wankers as well. Nothing but a series of stereotypes and cardboard cutouts masquerading as characters.
Right.
Not a single one of them can fucking act to save their lives, and they all talk and act like they just walked in off the street from 2025. I can't emphasize enough how much shit like this completely destroys any sense of immersion in the show. Even in the later seasons when the writing fell off a cliff, Game of Thrones at least still looked and felt like a believable fantasy world. The Witcher...
Even though, like, again, Game of Thrones fell off, like, yeah, as he says, it still felt like Game of Thrones. It was just done shittily. Like, that's all, right? I feel like this is just like a parody almost is what I'm watching. Like, this doesn't, like I see Geralt now and it looks like parody Geralt. Is that weird to say? Like, I know, and that's no offense to Hemsworth there, but it looks like this is like not real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it looks like a joke material, like straight up. I don't know. I feel like I should be laughing at this, not taking it seriously in a sense.
Cliff, Game of Thrones at least still looked and felt like a believable fantasy world. The Witcher feels more like an SNL skit filmed in any vaguely old buildings the production could find, with medieval costumes ordered direct from Temu, only there's no punchline to any of the jokes. I honestly don't know how a show that costs hundreds of millions of dollars ended up looking and feeling so fucking cheap, but somehow Netflix managed it. Aside from that, all the usual problems that have dogged The Witcher since the very beginning are present and correct here, only worse. The convoluted, overarching storyline that's trying to juggle way more factions and characters than the writing team could possibly handle. The hammy performances by actors who look like they're dying from terminal cringe that make Xena Warrior Princess look like Lord of the Rings in comparison. The complete lack of geographical understanding that's only made worse by every single village, town and city looking like every other because apparently medieval fantasy lands have to reflect the world we live in today. In fact, the problems become so laughably bad that not only does every location in The Witcher look like every other, but The Witcher itself looks like every other generic fantasy show that's been made in the past 5 years. It's just like if fantasy...
Little clearing in a forest, nothing else to recognize that it's fantasy. Costumes, I guess, horses. But like high fantasy clothing, not like realistic, like medieval clothing, I guess.
Every other generic fantasy show that's been made in the past 5 years. It's like if fantasy was manufactured by IKEA. And of course, there's the never-ending push to make every female character into a powerful, all-conquering girl boss that has to be the center of everything, whose only weakness is the men around them holding them back from true greatness. Hate to be the one to point this out, guys.
Yeah, and I don't get what that's all about either. Like, why that's a trend in so much shit nowadays, too. Like... Again, there's males and there's females, guys. Like, again, we kind of rely on each other. Why are we putting one side down so much recently? You know, and I don't really care. I don't get it. I don't give a shit, right? Whatever. No skin off my nose. But, like, it's just fucking weird to see in media. Like, because there is a very clear fucking disparity going on, I will say. And if it was reversed, you'd hear a lot more about it. I can guarantee it. That's the thing, right? It's just, it's very strange for me to see. And also, like... Again, like, she's a badass in her own right already. Why do we need to, like, enhance that? You know what I mean? To make an emphasis on it, to make a point on it. The second you start doing that shit, there's no, like, I can't relate to that fucking person anymore. Geralt's a badass, yeah, but he makes mistakes. He's a flawed character, at least in, like, the first couple seasons, you know what I mean? He was relatable, you know? Now, I don't fucking see any of this I could relate to, you know what I mean? Like, again, especially if, like, the main fucking character isn't even the main fucking character anymore. Like, what is this?
Weakness is the men around them holding them back from true greatness. Hate to be the one to point this out, guys, but the majority of your target audience for a show like this is men. Yeah. And if this is the best you can offer them, well... Don't be surprised if they check the fuck out.
Yeah.
The Witcher really did have everything in place to be the next Game of Thrones. The resources,
fucking
the
5%
actors,
of your audience that is female,
and the baked-in fan base. It could have been the definitive fantasy show that would dominate TV for the next decade and probably spawn an entire extended universe of spin-off shows. All they had to do was stay faithful to the source material.
That's
and
what I was expecting, to be honest.
In the name of pandering to modern audiences. And well, they failed. Big time. As Nerdrotic once pointed out, if you play social justice games, then you win social justice prizes. And truly, Lauren Histrich and her team of retards have played the biggest social justice game of them all, with hundreds of millions of dollars of other people's money and a beloved IP that she didn't have a hand in creating. And her prize? A show that nobody fucking wants. So I'm gonna say what I said about Kathleen Kennedy when the dust settled from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I hope it was all worth it. I hope you feel real good about yourself when this is all over, because you're gonna be remembered as the showrunner who fumbled the biggest layup of all time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Wow. Good video. Very good explanation. Hey, one of my own videos is recommended to me there. But very, very good explanation of that. And like, again, The Witcher had the potential to be something massive. I really thought it was going to be going places when I first saw it. Like, it seemed like a good series. I haven't played all the games. I played a part of 3. I want to say I played like maybe 40-50% of the way through 3. I want to say, I'm actually not too sure now. It's been a long time. But and I have obviously seen the show, so I don't know a whole lot about The Witcher. So I guess I'm kind of the show's target audience in a way. You know what I mean? Somebody that really hasn't been exposed to it is trying to learn it for the first time. Even I knew, like, shit was incorrect, even in the limited knowledge of The Witcher that I had, you know what I mean? And then when it starts going off the deep end, you start pandering, you start making it into something that it very clearly is not and that nobody wants to see. Again, I just don't know how it's allowed to go on for so long and how, you know, the studios aren't like fucking kicking this person out and making way for someone new that actually gives a shit about it, seemingly, you know what I mean? Gives a shit about like the lore and where the actual story came from, you know? But whatever, I thought this was a great video. If you guys enjoyed this reaction, of course, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course, leave your recommendations down in the comments below. And a big thank you to all of our members, of course, all of our Hastati, our Triarii, our Principe, Dagenhart, and of course, our Prefect, Hobbit, and Fear. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, without any further delay, this has been Centurion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.